Good morning and welcome to today's daily devotional. We are moving into a season of talking about what it means to have a mindset of abundance. We have been trapped by our world and by our society into seeing scarcity instead of abundance, seeing that what we don't have, instead of looking at where we are blessed and what strengths and gifts we have to offer the world. And so we're going to talk about that for the next 6 or 7 weeks leading up into the Advent season. And so this Sunday, we're going to be looking at the story of the Tower of Babel and what it has to tell us about abundance and scarcity. So we're going to look at a few other stories that echo the same themes as that passage. And this morning we're going to start with Genesis chapter 28. This is the story of Jacob. And Jacob has been running for a while because Jacob is not a very good guy. He does a lot of things that are not particularly great. And this is going to be his reckoning with God. And so this is chapter 28, starting with the 10th verse. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. He reached a certain place and spent the night there. When the sun had set, he took one of the stones at that place and put it near his head. Then he lay down there. He dreamed and saw a raised staircase, its foundation on earth and its top touching the sky, and God's messengers were ascending and descending on it. Suddenly the Lord was standing on it and saying, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will become like the dust of the earth. You will spread out to the west, east, north, and south. Every family of earth will be blessed because of you and your descendants. I am with you now. I will go where you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done everything that I have promised. So Jacob is driven out into the desert by his own actions. Jacob was the second-born son in the family, and his mother filled his head full of notions that he was better than that he should take what was his brother's because he deserved it, because his mother favored him over his brother Esau. And so he always saw life as the things that his brother had that he didn't, which turned him into a really angry person who was greedy and who was always striving for something else, something more. And so what he ended up doing was isolating himself and sending all the other people away. And finally, he gets driven into the desert where he has only a rock for a pillow. And he has a dream. And we know this dream is Jacob's ladder. And what he sees in this dream is angels ascending and descending from heaven. And God saying to him, now that you are in this place where you can hear me, now that you're in the desert where you can hear me speak, remember that I am with you. And this story changes Jacob's life. He wrestles with this all night. He wrestles literally with an angel later in the story. And he wrestles with this idea that what he needed to depend on his whole life was not what he could make for himself, not what he could take from others, not what he didn't have, that the birthright he stole from his brother wasn't what was going to fulfill him. That in the end, even in the midst of the desert, if he remembers that God constantly is ascending and descending from heaven, that God is not just sitting up there watching, but God is actively involved in the world, that if he can remember that, then he has many things. He has many more things than he thought, than he could have wished for. Because God is with him and will protect him. And so he may not have the birthright of Esau. He may not have the flowing red locks and the great beard and the life that Esau was supposed to have, that he took. But he does have God and God's abundance. And so where are we in a desert right now? Where do we need to be driven into the desert so we can hear that message of abundance? God bless.